Hey, what's up, guys? Hi. I am Marlakris. I am not a nail tech, but I do all sorts of crazy nail shenanigans, mostly dip powder. So if you're into that, you're in the right place. Real quick, for you guys who have been with me for a minute, I have been having great luck with the peel off base coat over tips. That's a peely that I popped over that nail that has a tip on it. My index and my thumb are my natural nails. I have tips on the last three, just so you know where we're starting off here. I'm going to do a one color mani. This is going to be a basic one color bare bones mani start to finish. It's going to go kind of quick, and this is going to be a great video if you've never used dip powder before. It's going to be how I do dip powder, and granted this will vary from person to person. I'm using the peel off base coat on my nails now because I do my nails literally like every day. But if you want a video on how to prep your nails and on removal, I will leave it up here in the cards for you, and you'll probably need that after you watch this video and do dip powder. I'm gonna start my mani here. Because my nails are on the longer side, I'm gonna do a 3/4 dip into this natural dip powder. You don't have to use natural, you can use clear. This is only because I have length to my nails. If your nails are a bit shorter than mine are, you do not need this. Matter of fact, I would advise against it. It will bulk up your nail. But I find that this dip will, reinforce my free edge a little bit and help prevent against breaking. So I'm going to get started on this. Now for this dip, you don't want to necessarily get product all the way over to your sidewall. So I go on this little triangle type formation. This will just keep your sidewalls from getting too bulky with, all the dip product. But it will also reinforce your free edge, and it will help your nail establish a bit of an apex. Apex is basically what you need to keep your nails from breaking if they have length. The general thought is the longer your nails, the higher your apex needs to be. So this will give your nails a little bit of an apex. It's not going to be crazy, and it should, in theory, keep your nails from breaking. So I'm going to cruise through this real quick. I'll be back here in just a sec for the rest of the application. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to brush off excess. Make sure you're brushing off excess in between each layer, super important. And again, if you don't have longer nails like I do, you do not need that extra step. You don't need a period if you don't want it, but I just find that it helps my nails to not be so thin and breakable. So we're going to move on to the actual color application. I've got so much that I want to tell you guys about this, starting with your workspace. For glitter dips, for any dip really, it's important to protect your workspace. What you're looking at right now in my workspace is actually contact paper. I don't tape it down to my nail desk, but I do lay it out to protect my work surface, and I have a paper towel under that. I'm going to go in with my base first. Now I'm going to apply this to the center of my nail and push that product up towards my cuticle, and I am not touching my cuticle. So I put in the center, I push it up, and then I pull it back down. And then I kind of guide my brush around down to the side walls, and I'm keeping my base layer as thin as possible with getting the whole nail covered. You don't want to put your base on thick. That will just lead to bulky nails and product, build up, and you're probably going to wind up with gummy brushes. So thin as possible. If you get any on your skin, clean that off right away because the powder will stick to your skin. And then I'm going to go into the powder, and I do not go in at a 45-degree angle like most companies tell you to do. I tilt my jar, I tilt my nail, I put my tip just in a little bit, and then I push my nail forward. I find that going in at a 45-degree angle can lead to a ledge in the front of your nail, and nobody wants that. Then with a orange wood stick or a toothpick, I'm just cleaning up around the sides. If I did get any powder or base around my sidewalls or cuticle, I'll take care of that. And that's your first dip. Leave it alone. Don't brush off powder. It'll be fine just sitting there while you do the rest of your nails. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you a few more times how I do my basic first dip application, and I'm going to let you watch, and I will be right back. if you're wondering why I double dip per se, it's really force of habit, but the mentality behind it is if you dip into that powder, there could be some wet spots just where the base was maybe not quite, I don't know, as dry. So if you put the base on half your nail and then the second half your nail, your first half your nail might be a little bit drier. So I just like to double dip to make sure that I'm covering every wet spot that I can. And the reason for this is when you go to brush off excess later, if there's still a wet spot on your nail, that's going to cause your dusty brush to get a little bit gunky. So I like to just make sure that the nail is completely covered with powder. There's nothing damp or wet or whatever, just to save brushes in the long run. Also, I feel like it gives a more even application. Again, this is probably just a personal thing. It's just me and my Marla methodology. But I wanted to just point that out for you. I'm going to continue letting you guys watch, and I'll come back for the second coat. So don't go anywhere, and I will be right back. I did want to point out real quick that I am doing this application with my non-dominant hand. This is something that takes a lot of practice. I only recently started getting better with my non-dominant hand, which if you've been with me for a minute, you know that my left hand is pretty much useless. The only thing I can do with it is open a can of soda, which is super weird, and I don't even drink soda. So yeah, just keep yourself as stable as possible. I tend to have my forearms or my wrists on my nail desk, and I don't know if you saw it on my pinky nail, I will turn my dominant hand. That way I don't have to manipulate my non-dominant hands, like as little as possible, at least. So that makes the application easier for me. I mean, you really got to find what works for you. What I do may work for you, it also may not. So you have to find what works for you. I also find that going super duper slow really helps. You don't have to rush this. I've seen people like whack the base on and then dip and then they're fine. And I'm like, I don't know how you do that. I got to go super slow or I'm going to mess stuff up. And you know what? It's not a race. No one's timing you on how fast you do your dip nails. So I don't know. It works for me. So now I'm going to brush off all the excess and we're going to get started with the second dip. I'm going to speed through it a little bit because it's a carbon copy of the first dip. Second dip I find is even easier because you already have that guide from when you put the color down initially. So I find it's a little simpler to do your second dip. I'm switching over to a different base, and the only reason I'm doing this is because I don't want to contaminate my triple vitamin base that I use for flat colors typically with any glitter. Again, personal thing. You could just wipe your base brush off on a paper towel if you wanted to. I have done that occasionally, but I do have a few different bases because I do a lot of product reviews. So I'm just going to use a different base and have that be my glitter base, which I highly recommend. I think it's a fantastic thing, especially if you're like me and you get bent out of shape. If there's a piece of glitter in a flat nail, it drives me nuts, especially if you're doing like a matte top coat. It will drive me crazy. So I'm going to let you guys watch and I'll cruise through my second dip and then I will be right back. Okay, so I am brushing off excess. Again, like I said, in between every single dip, you want to brush off excess as well as possible. Again, this will keep your brushes from getting all gunky and weird, and it'll keep your product as smooth as possible as well. I just noticed this. I just noticed that this particular color over my nails is kind of looking like a baby boomer, which is awesome. I had zero intentions of this happening, but it's good. I'm just showing you this so you can see how smooth my nails are. They have no bumps, no lumps. They're all pretty even and thin. And now I'm going to encapsulate. This is something that's optional for most people. I am a creature of habit and I clear cap everything, but especially glitter. Glitter, when you file over it, can break and it can distort the color of the glitter. So I always recommend doing a clear cap over glitter nails. Also, clear dip powder or clear acrylic, which is pretty much the same thing. It's much stronger than pigmented dip powder, so I feel like this adds an extra layer of strength to my nails. I don't know, I've been doing it for so long. I will always clear cap, just my personal thing, not a step that you need to take if you don't feel like you do. I'm going to just get this over all of my nails and I will be right back. So if you've never seen one of my videos or a dip nail video before, you're probably thinking the same thing I thought the first time I tried this, which is you just ruined your whole glitter mani. I understand why you might be saying that, but watch what happens after I brush off excess and put on the activator. Activator is a necessary step. Activator is what dries the base coat, which is resin, aka glue. This is what's going to make the nails hard like acrylic and will make it so you can file and shape them and buff them and all that fun stuff. So as you can see, I put the activator on and the clear is very, very clear, so you can still see all of that gorgeous glitter underneath. I feel like clear capping, I know I've mentioned this in a previous video, clear capping also helps your activator to stay clear. Sometimes if you put activator over a glitter nail or a pigmented nail, you can stain the activator itself, which can in turn stain a lighter color nail, you know, if you go to do one at some point. So I find it just keeps everything clean and simple, and it's my thing. My thing, leave me alone. So after I've activated, I do two coats of activator. Most companies tell you only need one. I always do two. Just me, my personal thing again. So here's what the nails look like. I'm going to go file and buff off camera. I will leave an in-depth filing and e-filing video up here for you guys if you are interested in seeing that. And now I'm just going to remove all of the excess dust from my nails with some acetone. It's not acetone, I lied. It's alcohol. Alcohol on my paper towel, and apparently I did that a little bit violently. I'm in a rough mood, I suppose. So this is, again, just getting all the excess dust off in preparation for top coat. Top coat is a super personal thing. You can use literally any top coat that you want. You can use polished top coat, gel top coat, dip top coat, whatever you want. And I'll put a video up here of a top coat comparison that I did. For me, I'm a gel person. I love gel polished top coat. I just find that it lasts so much longer. It holds a shine much longer. It keeps the nails nice and hard, and they're very durable. As you can see, they don't bend a whole lot. That's because the acrylic has strength to it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm using my, at the moment, favorite No Wipe Gel Top Coat by Nail Addicts LA. Probably should have said this in the beginning of the video, but everything I'm using will be in the description box for you guys. I'm just going to go ahead and get on my gel polish. I know a lot of you have been asking about the LED UV that I have to cure my gel polish. It's currently unavailable, like all of my other favorite things that y'all buy up. So I can recommend any LED UV that's at least 48 watts will cure a gel polish perfectly. You can get a lower wattage gel lamp, but you'll have to do a double cure. You just have to do it longer. No big deal. So as you can see, that clear dip did not do anything to the integrity of the glitter. They're going to look gorgeous and perfect. I'm going to finish up my top coat, and I'll be right back with you guys for some final thoughts. So here is my finished mani. I absolutely love this color. I haven't done just a plain good old one color mani for the heck of it, and I don't even know how long, but I love it. I love this like faux baby boomer look it's giving me. I'm just in love. I'm going to finish off this mani the same way I always do, and the same way I would always recommend doing, with some cuticle oil. I happen to love Candy Skincare's cuticle oil. I'll have a link and a discount for you in the description box. Yeah, so you guys will have to let me know your thoughts. If you are new to my channel, I hope that you got something out of this video. And as always, I will leave my email addresses and my Instagram DM handle, whatever, you know I'm talking about, in my description box. If you guys ever have any questions, especially all you new guys, definitely don't hesitate to reach out. I'd be happy to help you. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in my next vid. Love you, bye.